Yes, Kate, the ACCC is suing Virgin and Jetstar Airlines for drip pricing. Now, drip pricing is not pricing for drips or pricing by drips. Drip pricing occurs is where the headline price is advertised at the beginning of an online purchasing process, but then further fees and charges are incrementally disclosed during the purchasing process, so the consumer ends up paying more than what he or she might have expected when he started.
And how does this fall foul of consumer laws?
Well, the Australian consumer laws basically say that companies, when they're engaging in trade or commerce activities, ought to engage in proper conduct, that is, not misleading or deceptive conduct. Now, the ACCC is saying that these practices are misleading and deceptive. They also mean that the consumer is paying a price that is not disclosed to the consumer upfront.
So what do businesses need to consider when they're establishing their online payment methods?
Well, online purchasing is becoming more and more prevalent in commerce. So most businesses, particularly those in airlines, ticketing, accommodation and vehicle rental, are using an online purchasing process. If they're going to use it, I think they need to have some of these things very much in the forefront. First, there ought to be upfront disclosure. Now, what that means is that the additional fees and charges ought to be part of the headline price or disclosed equally prominently to the headline price. Secondly, they ought to make it very easy for consumers who are in the middle of an online purchasing process to opt out of that process if they decide that the additional fees and charges are too steep or they're not prepared to pay them. So they're the two key features, I think, to make it to be upfront in their disclosure and to make it easy for consumers to opt out if they decide to partway through the process.
Some good tips there, Brett. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Kate.